What's up guys, Chef Dave back here with another cooking video. So today we're going to make a little lunch using one of my favorite ingredients, eggplant. So for me, for some reason the end of summer really kind of brings out eggplant inspiration. There's a couple things that I like to do with them, and we're going to talk about two of those today. The first video we're going to do and show you is how to make baba ganoush. Or a version of baba ganoush, kind of more like a roasted eggplant that you can turn into baba ganoush afterwards, or you can use as is. We're going to use it as is, and we're going to do a really fun kind of lunch salad utilizing some of the sardines from Leaves and Loaves Goods. The other one is something I discovered in Italy when I was traveling through there. It's just kind of a preserved eggplant, really rare, really popular there. You see it in all the the meat shops and things. There's just piles and piles of this really beautiful preserved eggplant that I just fell in love with while I was there. Especially, it's so good just in salads and sandwiches, and it's almost like a pickled eggplant, I guess, but very popular there, and one of the things I really love to do to preserve kind of at the end of summer. So we're going to talk about that as well. What you're looking for when you talk about eggplant, you want nice, firm eggplant. If they're squishy, that usually means they're old and very seeded inside. It happens. It's not the end of the world. They get seedy as they sit, so as soon as they get picked, they begin getting seedier. But not the end of the world. They're just a little bit more bitter usually when they're very seedy, and the structure is just not as nice. But it's okay, especially for this purpose. We're going to be using them for baba ganoush or just like roasted eggplant, which is okay. It's going to be very tender and delicious either way. It's just a little bit more bitter if it's seedy. Sometimes you're at the mercy of what you have, so that's the way it is. It's actually a little bit more important for the preserved eggplant to really have nice, firm, fresh eggplant, because that's where you want nice texture for the fermented or preserved product, because it has to have the ability to sit for a while, and in that case it's more important to have a really nice texture. But that's it. Let's get into this. Let's start making this fire roasted eggplant. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fire roast this on the stovetop. Very popular method over charcoal, over just your flames. You can line this with foil if you want. Totally, helps to clean up later. But I'm gonna scrub most of this down anyway today, so it'll be fine. So we want to start. You don't want to go crazy hot, but hot enough, if you will. And you're literally just gonna put that over. Now you're gonna move this and rotate this. This is gonna take about 20 minutes to do. And through the course of every 2 or 3 minutes or so, we're going to rotate it and adjust it. This way it cooks and roasts evenly. This is a pretty beefy eggplant, so it'll definitely take us this solid 20 minutes or so. But that's it. You don't have to put any salt. I don't put oil on it. It's because we're just charring and removing the skin afterwards. So I just go right on as is. So let's time lapse this and watch it. That's it. So it's been about 20 minutes. As you saw, I've been telling the time lapse, we kind of, did everything in stages. Skin is nice and burnt on the outside. Feels very soft on the inside. Very juicy. So we're going to transfer this to gingerly transfer this to a plate. And so it very much has like this soft texture to it. What we're gonna do now is I'm actually gonna cover this with a dome. I can do it right now. Cover it with basically anything just to keep the heat in. Okay, just like that. We're gonna keep the heat in just for a little bit, just so it finishes steaming. The insides, to make sure everything's nice and tender in there, just for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna take it off and peel it. So now, this has been sitting for, it's a little warm, about, the steam's still coming out, about 15-20 minutes or so. Still nice and warm, okay? We'll drop this in here. And now, you can do this a couple different ways. Some people will let it cool all the way. Some people will wash it. I'm okay with however you want to do it. Washing it is fine. Although sometimes I do feel like you're washing the char flavor off. So what I like to do is I like to try to pick it off as best as I can. Now, if I end up with a couple of charred pieces in there, totally fine. I'm okay with that. But it comes off pretty easily. Sometimes you can pick it and then give it a quick rinse. For some reason, I feel like if you're washing it underwater, some of the flavor comes off. I could just be my brain, but it's also easier to pick when it's cooler. But you got chef hands. You can pick it while it's still a little warm. Okay. Nice. Flip it over. Oh. Looking really good. Smells really great. It's amazing how smoky it smells, and the eggplant itself just absorbs that smoke quality. It's pretty amazing. Nice. Okay. Now you're gonna cut off this top anyway when you use it, so you don't have to get too crazy, because what the top is so it never really hits that fire. I mean, I guess you can really concentrate on it if you wanted to, but it never really gets crushed by the fire. And so the top here, this section here, really kind of stays a little bit firm, and it's not really palatably nice, if you will. So you just kind of let it kind of holds itself together by a thread. Beautiful. All right. Again, I'm okay with these little pieces. Now, if you wanted to wash this off now, you can, but just like that. I'm just gonna put this in this container, just like that. Now you can store this as is for a couple days and use it as you will, or you can use it right now, like we're going to. All right, so here we are. Time to put it all together. So, ingredients we have are our eggplant, some fresh parsley, some quickly marinated pickled onions. That's just vinegar, salt, a touch of sugar, just to wilt them down and kind of give them a quick pickle. Some Soom tahini, some salt and vinegar almonds, but you can use any nut or no nuts if you want. And then our briosa, boneless, skinless sardines with lemon and basil. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do is, one, you want to get rid of excess moisture. So dump that out. Okay, and then I like to just cut this guy off. So that's garbage. Okay. Then, to this, we're going to add some of our tahini. Now, you can use your favorite kind, or again, not any at all. We're going to add a bunch of this to give it some creaminess. And also, we're going to add the juice and oil from the sardines. So that'll give it some nice herbaceousness. And we're going to, just with a fork, kind of break this up first. Now no salt has been added at all to this, so, which is fine. We're gonna mix this and then taste it for seasoning. You can see it's already looking like that baba ganoush that you know and love. And it gives it that stirred up really well, and you kind of want to whip that olive oil and tahini into it, and it gives it this beautiful creaminess. Look at that, that's beautiful. Now you don't want to puree it in a blender or a Roboku or something. You really want it to be kind of, you know, on its own accord and have creaminess, but then still have that piecey chunks in there. Okay, so let's give this a taste. Really, really nice. Oh, so creamy. We're gonna add a bunch of salt to it because it definitely needs it. Okay, this is just good sea salt again. Love my sea salt. And we're gonna mix that in. Now, sea salt a little bit thicker, so it's not as fine. So you got to make sure you're careful that you're not over salting. So good. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, and now it's just a matter of putting it together. The way I'm going to do it is we're going to do it on a plate, and then we're just going to kind of garnish the top of it. Then we can eat it with bread or crackers or whatever and make a really beautiful lunch out of it. So let's clean some of this stuff. So with a spoon, we'll literally, I'm going to dump this right on here. Now this is for two. So you don't, obviously you can save this if you wanted. Use a portion of it, use it just as its own, as a dip. It's a wonderful substitute for like mayonnaise or something like that, you know. Basically, we're going to spread this out kind of evenly. Boom. Okay. And then we're going to put our pickled onions kind of just around. So the onions are high in acid, so that'll add that acidic balance to it. Nice. Then we can even add some of the vinegar if we wanted to, but for this case, we're just going to leave it as is. Beautiful. Nice. Wonderful. Okay. Then we are going to, again, you can use any kind of nut if you wanted. These are fun because they're the bold nuts, and these are salt and vinegar, so this is almost like using fleur de sel and, you know, vinegar at the same time, and it adds a wonderful texture to everything. Any nut will add a really wonderful texture to it all. And then we're going to take the sardines, and we are actually going to take them and break them up a little bit, just to, you know, spread it out so everybody gets. Now you can leave them whole, obviously, but I'm like gonna break them up a little bit this way, sort of like I said, everybody gets a taste of sardine here and there. Beautiful. This is fantastic. Really, really fantastic. Look at that. There's that piece of lemon that comes with a sardine. And then we're gonna take this oil, we're gonna drizzle it over the top. Nice. Okay, let me rinse my hands. And then to finish off, so wipe, we're just gonna put our parsley leaves over the top. Okay. And that's it. There you have it. You serve that with good crusty bread. No one's gonna be mad at you. Once again, guys, thanks so much for joining us. If you like this content, make sure you subscribe, click the like button, ring the notification bell, and if you like the products we're selling, go over to Leaves and Loaves Goods, www.leavesandloavesgoods.com, and get yourself some of our goodies. Thanks, guys.